Hey everyone and welcome to another Let's Max Warframe, where today we're going to be taking a look at another brand spanking new weapon, Gara's personal shotgun, and that is the Astilla. Now the Astilla is a glass based shotgun, it's easy to get hold of, you're able to pick up the blueprint from the marketplace for credits, not that expensive to build, although it does require Mastery 7 to be able to build it, so it's not one you're going to be using, to be honest, that early on in the game. But what do you get with the Astilla once it's built? Well, you get a shotgun firing slugs of pure glass, dealing 160 damage. Most of that is slash, almost the same amount of impact. Puncture is lagging behind a little bit. Add into that critical chance of 17%, 1.9 critical damage multiplier. You can just about make a crit build work on this, taking advantage of Prime Ravage, the primed shotgun crit mod. Not only that though, the status chance of 33% means you can also work a status build into the weapon too. You're able to hit 100% status with all 4 dual stat elemental and status mods. Now normally, unless you hit 100% status before multi-shot, I don't recommend a status build on shotguns. However, like the Arcoplasmor, the Astilla counts as a single shot, much like a normal weapon, so a status build works really well, since that chance is not split between the pellets at all. The crit and status are even more effective though when you take into account the special feature of the Astilla, which is that the shots have an AoE when they hit something of around a meter or 2, hitting everything in that radius. The additional damage can also crit and can also proc status, which means that the Astilla can be fantastic at dealing with groups of enemies. The weapon does have some downsides though. The slugs it fires are pretty slow and does have some drop on them, so you're going to have to be good at leading targets but also compensating for the drop at range. Not the easiest thing in the world to apply the damage. Another downside is that honestly, with it being fully automatic and nowhere near as high as damage per shot as some of the other shotguns, it's extremely ammo hungry, with it running out extremely quickly, so you might want to consider ammo mutation, ammo case on your carrier, or even ammo pads to be able to keep it running. In terms of the builds, I decided to switch it up and do 2 separate builds. Although the performer on here does mean that you can switch very easily between the 2 builds depending on what you prefer. First build is the one I found to be the strongest, and that is the crit build. We have 3 former on here, bringing the total polarities up to 4 Vs. We then went with Prime Point Blank, Hell's Chamber, Blunderbuss for crit chance, Prime Ravage for crit damage, and then all 4 dual stat elementals of your choice. Corrosive and Blast I found works very nicely against armoured units. It strips armour, and then you have the knockdown for crowd control as well. It is a great combo. Although Gas works nicely for Corpus too, or Radiation and Viral for Grenier for the Radprocs and halving their health. There's a lot you can do with this, and like I say, I found this to be by far the strongest build for it. The second build we have is Prime Point Blank's Hell's Chamber, Seeking Fury for punch through and a bit of reload speed, which is some nice quality of life there in that one, 4 dual stats and Blaze. Once again, combos to suit whatever faction you're facing. I didn't find this build anywhere near as effective as the first one. However, if you like the crit build and don't have Prime Ravage, then this is a more than capable build at lower levels. You could switch out some mods to on either build really. Vicious Spread kind of works. I need to do some more testing on how it works. It does cause the multi-shot to spread out quite a bit from the main shot, which means it does kind of indirectly increase the range of the AoE. Bane mods also work pretty nicely to increase your damage output against individual factions as well. Ammo mutation is never a bad option either, especially since we can have a primed ammo mutation mod for it, and that will keep you fairly well stocked on ammo. So what do I think of the Astilla? Honestly, I love it. The design of the weapon is incredible, it looks amazing, and then you have the visuals of the glass shattering as well, combined with the amazing sound design of that glass shattering. The whole weapon has theatre and is so much fun to play around with. I loved the sound as soon as, the second I picked it up really. The performance is pretty okay as well. It is going to struggle with top end level sorties, especially sort of Xmas enemies. The 120s you see me in the footage in the background, which is the very high end of the sorties, they take my entire ammo reserve, and I don't even manage to kill 4 of them with all of that ammo. So it's something you're going to have to get used to. Ammo mutation is definitely something that is very nice too. In extended fights you can, run out very, very quickly of ammo. It's one of my main bugs with this weapon, it's just the amount of times I've been completely out of ammo with this thing. So make sure you're taking a secondary weapon that can back you up well when you inevitably run out of that ammo. But you know what, that doesn't stop me loving this thing. I think it's incredible. The performance of the weapon is good enough, it is so much fun to actually play with. I love weapons that mean you've got to lead your shots, that have drop on them, which means especially on the planes you've got to try and work out where the enemies are going to be when you're going to hit them. I absolutely love this thing. This is going to be an absolute firm fan favourite. I can imagine people loving this thing. If you're going to look at ribbons, honestly, I would go with crit and status and crit damage. You know, crit chance, crit damage, status, pure damage, multi-shot. You know, they're pretty much the standard ones for this. You could pretty much have a ribbon for almost anything, and honestly, it's going to work pretty well on this thing. But the Astilla, it is incredible. I love it. I love it. I don't think you're going to be disappointed if you build it, former it. I really think that if you love your shotguns, you are going to like this thing quite a bit. So I hope you enjoyed this video, my look at the Astilla. I am going to have videos for the other weapons coming soon, as well as a Gara review. I have been working on that and trying to work out my build for her for the last few days. So that is going to be coming soon. But for now, many thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.